And you were you... Okay, here's the question. Were you surprised by Manchester United's performance?
No, I wasn't surprised. And the biggest thing for me is that, yes, it might not be a derby, but it's a big rivalry between both teams over the years. And that wasn't a game where there was a rivalry at all. Manchester United players, it was like watching 11 statues behind the ball. Because you can play 5 at the back, Laura, Ali, and yes, it can be a defensive formation. But look at the second goal. Look how easy it is for Mane to turn, put Salah in. Dallow's playing left wing back. You've got Phil Jones in the team. He's not played all season. I mean, honestly, Ali, did Rangnick get his coaching badges from Argos? Because I feel that I should be, myself and new players that have got their coaching badges deserve more of a chance than some of these guys that are getting jobs. Because that formation and that team that is put out there, Ali. Honestly.
Gabby, you can't say that.
Why not?
You can't say he got his coaching badges from Argos.
But that formation is put out last night, Laura. I mean, I know you played Liverpool and they're a strong team, but Dallow, left wing back. Phil Jones played one game all season, centre back, then drag him off at half time. The poor guy. You've got Eric Bailly on the bench. For me, I don't understand what he was thinking with that formation and that set of players. Shocking.
I've got to say, it's incredibly harsh. However, I think the formation was all over the place, right? But there is an element, Gab, that I said this morning. I think you can go out with any formation, and if you're playing a team at the top of the form, then they'll rip that game plan to shreds.
But look at the goals, though, Ali.
Yeah, I know that. However, Gab, I've got to say to you, I was more disappointed in the way they went about their business rather than their formation. I thought there looked to be a complete lack of spirit about them, which is arguably, it's a bigger crime, to tell you the truth. I'm looking at some of the... I mean, and the wee boy that came on with 2 minutes ago showed more spirit and gave a couple of... I know that's not everything, but he did. He showed more spirit in the 2 minutes he was on than half of them did in the entire 90 minutes.
Yeah, I totally agree. The players were shocking. I mean, like I said, they were all like statues behind the ball, but the formation as well for me. I mean, the players are probably thinking in training this week, oh, here we go. Nothing else is working. Let's try 5 at the back. Oh, Dallow, you're going to play left wing back. Oh, okay, thanks. Phil Jones, all right, you're going to come in. Why not give him a game against Norwich to get him back used to Premier League football? You're throwing him in against the best front three in the world for me, and then drag him at half-time. What's that going to do for his confidence? I mean, look at the Salah goal. Yes, great pass by Mane, but you got 5 at the back, Laura. That shouldn't even be an option. You know what I mean? The left side of the 3 centre-half should be covering that space anyway. Never mind Dallow, who just let Salah run through. So the formation for me, and for me the players, were shocking as well.
Well, let's have a little listen to what the guys were talking about on Sports Bar last night. It was Jamie Hire and Dean Saunders. They did have a disagreement over how much Rangnick is to blame for United's downfall.
That manager is absolutely ruining that football club and that team, because you can see the players haven't got a clue what they're doing.
It's not him, Jamie. It's not just him.
No, Dean.
It's not just him.
No, it's not just him. But they haven't
rotten.
got a clue what they're doing on the pitch. That first half, the organisation of where they're meant to play and what they're meant to be doing was an absolute joke.
Yeah, but who's giving the job? It's years and years of bad decisions from upstairs. Ed Woodward was at the club 5 years. I don't think they signed one player that done well in 5 years. You name a player that's done well for Man United in 5 years.
I mean, genuinely, I think Bruno's done well in 5 years. I know he's had spots of inconsistencies, but I think he's been one of their standout players. As soon as he joined Manchester United and hit the ground running, he was the leader that he needed. I'm not sure what's happened since then more recently. It looks like the team in general have lost their confidence. Gabby, I just want to focus on Liverpool for a second. We had a text in earlier on that was saying, look, this is against an incredible team. Yes, Manchester United are underperforming at the moment, but Liverpool are a juggernaut, and they are so well drilled, and they have so many options, and their front three are all scoring goals and assisting goals. It's unbelievable what they're doing. Yeah,
Liverpool, for me, I think it's going to be hard for them to win the league because of Manchester City's fixtures. I feel like they'll win every game, but Champions League, I fancy Liverpool. On one-off game, maybe against Man City in the final, I fancy them, because yesterday Diaz, Mane, Salah, the way they come inside and don't stay wide. You got Thiago. He could have played with his flip-flops last night.
He was excellent, wasn't he?
Honestly, Ali, I'm thinking to myself, someone kick him. Fernandes, get close to him. Fernandes was bluffing last night. He was not even pressing, throwing his arms up. And then in the last 10 minutes, nearly really injures Trent Arnold with a shocking challenge. For me, it was a red card. But Liverpool are a different animal. And Paul Rashford on his own up front against Matip and Van Dijk. I mean, they had the easiest day they've had all season, Van Dijk and Matip.
Roy Keane said that he looked like a little boy at times up front. I can't remember as well. There was a chance actually where United were clean through and they both had a couple of shots which Alisson saved, both of them. But they were real toothless shots. They were almost, again, like shots with no real conviction, no real courage. It will take a lot to turn this around. We said before the break that you were asked a question about how many changes they'd need to make if they wanted to be challengers for the Premier League again. What do you think?
I know it might sound a lot. 15 players, I'd say. Not 11, 15. They need a better bench. Look at the likes of Man City, the players they can bring off their bench. They've got 2 teams. Liverpool, nearly 2 teams. Chelsea, 2 teams. Manchester United have got Luke Shaw when he's fit and on form. Fernandes when he fancies it. Who else?
Ronaldo?
Yeah, Ronaldo. Yeah, he's going to score goals, isn't he? But you're not going to rely on Cristiano Ronaldo. But who else? 4, that's 4. So if you say 15, 4, 19, you're going to need a 20, 21-man squad to challenge. Ali. The rest of them, I'd put them on the transfer list.
What do you think, Ali?
Massive overhaul, and I've said it for weeks. Massive overhaul. There is not one Manchester United player getting anywhere near that Liverpool team. None. So if you look at it like that, it's actually difficult to disagree with Gabby's interpretation of it.
But Ali, the biggest thing for me last night was just players like Lingard. He looked like a player who can't wait to get out of Manchester United.
They're lost.
This is the player that Jesse Lingard, Rashford, that they've come through at Manchester United, love the club. It's their club. Last night they're playing how long's the season's left? I can't wait to get out of this club. This is Manchester United. They're not even running around last night. Lingard comes on and he's not even running around for me. I'm baffled, Ali, watching them.
I think they look totally lost. And by that I don't mean, and I know Jimmy said it again, I don't think for a minute they have a game plan. Of course they have. Don't be crazy to think otherwise. And as I said, I keep repeating myself, the game plan has been dismantled. However, it was a lack of spirit and a lack of kind of obvious direction that they had that was really disappointing. And never mind the Liverpool team, it's probably the same with the Man City team. I don't think there's a Manchester United player getting in either of those sides at this moment in time.
Would they even get on the bench?
You're also talking about Pogba, Fernandes, all these guys. So when you look at it like that, Gabby, I just think it's going to be a massive, massive job. And it could be years, could be absolutely years.
Can I ask one very quick question to you just before we go to the break? Is there any defence for these players by saying that they've had Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he got fired, they had Carrick for an interim period of time, who was an interim for the interim that was coming in, that is now Ralf Rangnick. They haven't really known who the next person is coming in that's going to take the reins. Is there an element of a real lack of structure or stability at Manchester United, or should these guys be professionals?
They can still run around. I mean, Liverpool could be a better team, Laura, and man for man, but they can still run around. It took a youngster to come on and start kicking people, and trying to make a tackle. Yeah, they can still run around and try and look like they want to play for Manchester United. That's the worst I've seen Manchester United for years.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods, Monday to Wednesday mornings 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.